Sometimes it is not the headlines, but the small stories that are relegated to the back pages that give us a sense of what is really going on. I am doubtful that any of you ever heard the name Hashem Awash, and for a good reason. He is an insignificant member of the terrorist organization, the Islamic Jihad, who was arrested by Israel for reasons that cannot be revealed and is held in administrative detention. Like many before him, he began a hunger strike to a point that his life was at risk. This is not an unheard of situation, but what made this story special is that after 141 days of a hunger strike, Israel uncharacteristically agreed to release him. This is an act that goes against Israel's philosophy and practice, as it's perceived as giving up to terrorists. Titles like "How a Palestinian Hunger Striker Forced Israeli Concession" immediately showed up on Arab media, and the Hamas described it as a new victory that has been made by Abu Awash that confirms our people and our detainees' ability to win every battle they wage against the Israeli occupation. Even many Israelis find the release to be a capitulation and describe the case as an outright defeat for Israel and an unquestionable victory for the Palestinians. Why did Israel do this? It seems to me that the IDF and the Shin Bet, the Israel Security Agency, assessed that the tension in the West Bank and Gaza is percolating just beneath the surface, and all it takes is one match to ignite a third intifada when the Palestinians erupt into an uprising, the last thing that Israel needs right now. Israel has already gone through two Palestinian uprisings, first from 1997 to 93 and then from 2000 to 2005. Both were bloody, devastating, and very disruptive to the Jewish state. No one wants to go there again. Some observers estimate that the level of frustration and the current economic and political situation in Gaza and the West Bank are similar to those that brought about the previous intifadas. On New Year's Day, 3 days before the decision to release Abu Awash, 2 missiles were fired from Gaza towards Tel Aviv. No one got hurt, thank God. Hamas rushed to explain that the rocket's fire was caused by weather conditions and was not an attack on Israel. However, one does not need to be a military expert to know that the weather story is complete nonsense. The purpose of the missiles was to send a clear message to Israel that if Abu Awash dies, it would be considered an act of assassination, which may lead to another war. Israel found herself in the classic predicament of damned if you do and damned if you don't. As unpopular as her decision was, I believe that she did the right thing by not allowing the Palestinians to dictate the timing of the next conflict, and a small concession was a fair price to postpone it. See you next week.